Minutes after the 9 o'clock hour, 54 degrees and clear skies all around us. Looking good in the EC on this morning. What? And right now, let's go live. We have a special guest in our studio. I couldn't be more excited. I'm even going to have Madison in, so if she has a question for him. We have Coach Shannon Jarvis, the head coach of the Elbert County Blue Devil football team, and an EC man all the way in and around. And Shannon Jarvis, I just have to ask you this question right off the bat.
Yes, sir.
Just a year ago, could you even imagine where you'd be right now?
No, a year ago at this time, I think everybody, a year ago at this time is right when the pandemic was getting started or hitting here in America. But, I was at another school and with an athletic department, had my own challenges and all. But truthfully, I thought that's just where I was going to be there for a while. And, things changed. And by the grace of God, things changed and for my family and my children. And it was for the better. And being able to come back home and the challenges that are here. And now that you've been here for a little time, I've been here a little time, I can clearly see the direction that Elbert County is going in all athletics. I tell you, it's an exciting time that we're having at the school for all sports. I think you read this morning when you was reading through all the the spring sports and all the kids that are busy and the achievements that are happening right now.
It's incredible.
It is.
It's incredible.
It is. And what's happening in the weight room right now with our kids, and and really today it's not specific my conversation about football, but obviously it involves a lot of our football athletes, and I'm proud of how many that are in other sports. That's something I'm competing in the other sports. They're still lifting during the day, and a lot of that was already instilled in our kids before I got here. That's probably been one of the most surprising things. That's usually a challenge when you go to the school, to have everybody understand that weightlifting's year-round. You do it, and even on days you have games, you make modifications, but you still lift, and that work ethic's already in our kids and our athletes here, and so that's something that I'm excited right now to kind of be in some normalcy in the weight room and seeing our kids get the gains that they're having. So our kids are doing great. There's a lot of work that's going on behind the scenes, and that's specific to football for next fall. Obviously, the results got to be on the field, but there's a lot of work going on right now in our off season, in addition to a lot of our athletes that are participating in track and soccer, golf, other sports as well.
It's neat to see all the students that are doing multi sports. Yeah. And so yesterday, I'll share that I did get to meet with you, yeah, and even get to see students. And in the paper, I should have it right here in front of me, but it's like where one student is in one sport versus one student, yeah, that's in 2 and 3 sports, yeah, and their grade point average goes higher the more sports they're in.
Yeah. You always have national trends, and you can do the research nationally, but I like to be specific to the school and area we're in. So those numbers were our overall team GPA for the football team was 3.12. Wow. And for a lot of people that's good, but that's really it needs to be higher. So that's a benchmark where we're at. But when you really break that down, our students that were in one sport that only played football, their GPA was 3.02. If they played 2 sports, played football and another one, the GPA was 3.09. But for our athletes, and we have, I believe it was 8, off the top of my head, 8 that play 3 sports, whether it be football, basketball, track, or whatever, football, baseball, their GPA was 3.56.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and as adults and as coaches, we've got to recognize that too and try to work. We're all working hard and work year-round, but we want to afford that opportunity to those athletes that want to play 3 sports. And because at the end, I think it makes all sports better. I think it makes the kid more well-rounded. And in that data, that's something that we'll just look at that trend. And that's something I've done in my career, but I'm looking forward to bringing it here and seeing how that will transpire over the course of the next few years too with our athletes as we promote our kids playing more sports, but also the results that come from. And I don't want to say just being busy. Yeah. It's not just about making them busy. It's about the discipline, the accountability. It's the winning. It's the that's competition. Right. Yes. Make no mistake, this is about winning. And so that's something we want to keep charting and bring awareness to and promote to our players. And I mean that to all athletes. And, I'm excited about a lot of the kids that are looking to come out for football next year that maybe had not played before. And that's what we've asked to do is just give us a chance. But, there's a lot of athletes in the building that I'm really excited about to give an opportunity to come out for the team next year.
And as we look at all these sports, I know you've been at basketball games and different things, and you have players, football players that are there. There's also players in many other sports, track and different things. And so I want to talk a little bit about that, about all the sports, yeah, and how people can help with our athletics. And of course, this morning, it seems like there's 4 different games going on today, yeah, at one place. Yeah. Tennis, golf, soccer, baseball, and is all today. And of course, we're trying to push sports all we can. But how can the community, how can businesses, how can parents tap in and be a part of what's going on for Elbert County sports?
Yeah, first and foremost, I want, the community is Dr. Brian Turner does an excellent job as athletic director. I am the assistant athletic director, so I work underneath him. And when I say underneath him, he has a lot of duties at the school that he has to do that's, I'm being frank, that are outside of athletics, where he's an assistant principal as well. But we talk nonstop. His vision for our school and for True Blue, because I'll talk about True Blue, is in alignment. And that's what I'm probably the most excited about, is what I'm seeing with the athletes, but also the alignment of administration and everybody in the work within True Blue. Part of it, I don't want to say it's really a restructuring that's happened through True Blue. So I want to answer your question specifically by saying, what can the community do? In Elbert County, I would challenge the community to continue to do what they've been doing. I mean, I watched our girls basketball team, and even in that 1-point loss to Josie, our girls got a standing ovation from the community
That's
as
right.
they left the court.
Right.
And things like that. You go to a golf match, and you see so many people in the community. So continue to support our athletes. They're working as hard as they can. They're competing as hard as they can. And our student athletes at Elbert County, trust me, they take great pride in representing our county, our town, and every little town, from Rock Branch to Bowman to whatever. And so I want our community to continue to have that Blue Devil pride. And with that, our student athletes feed off that. I'm telling you, they remember that. Our girls will remember what happened on that loss, as tough as it was. But that is motivation for next year. Same thing, and I don't want to transition to football, but that last game, our community response in that last game had an impact on our players on the field. And that's something I think everybody left there with a little taste in their mouth that we all want more. And that's the motivation part of it. But part of this, though, is with True Blue. And I mentioned their restructuring. What can our business community do? True Blue right now has 5 main projects going into next year, and I'd like to mention those for our community. One is working with the softball, trying to upgrade the softball facility as far as seating, to where we can have more seating for them. So that's a project True Blue is looking at. Another one is, we've got a uniform issue at the middle school that they're looking to replace some uniforms at the middle school. Another thing is there's an upgrade with our basketball team with the chairs that they have, and they had. The year I gave was they hadn't been replaced in, I think, 1988. So
are you serious? You mean Coach Graham days? Are you serious?
I think so. The good thing is
Does anybody know Coach Graham? Do you know Coach Graham?
I think they've held up, but we're looking for that. So it's things of upgrade. But probably the thing that I'm excited about as well with True Blue is we're doing food and nutrition with our athletes. And so Miss Bridget Matthews has been coming over once a month. She's charting who's eating, but within the school, and we're talking dietary needs with our athletes. But also we're providing milk and protein after our heavy days. That is a True Blue initiative where they're financially supporting that, and it can become a pretty large number. It can become a financial burden, if I can say that. But this is where the investment of True Blue. I want our community to know it's going specifically for the experience of all student athletes at Elbert County High School. So part of that, and me looking at True Blue, is just we're very we are very intentional right now in our approach to our business community. We've got to create better partnerships in our business community, and that's a two-way street. That's not just us putting our hand and saying we need this. It's us casting the vision to our business community. I've been able to go to a lot of businesses in the last couple of weeks, and I got a lot more to go to. And so a part of me being here on the radio is letting the businesses know that we need your support. We want to explain to you how the money is dispersed to all sports, and we have different levels of sponsorships, and it's not that we're changing a lot, but the way the money is being able to get to these student athletes has changed. And I say changed. It's for the betterment of the players and the athletes that we have here at the school.
I want to make mention too that sometimes there's the thought process that money goes towards football, but I want to make mention of what you just said, the softball, the bleachers. Anybody that goes to softball, we cover softball as much as we can in the fall, thanks to Michael McGarity, thanks to Danny Bessinger, and they're out on the field, and I'm here. And but when I go there, you see that nice bank, and everybody's envisioned it. I've talked to people before, but then there's a vision to actually put the bleachers there. So in every sport, True Blue is helping every sport, not just one. And so, and in businesses, what a great way to interact when they don't know what to do. If you if you're in a major business here in town and you would like to make a major commitment and I would almost say network with our local sports, and of course, this is a great way to do it with True Blue, and they've got different levels. And who wants to be at the bottom level? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, and I'm speaking to myself.
Yeah.
So I want to be, so you got different tiers. And I think you've created a new champions top tier, and then of course not every business is going to be able to. There's different tiers to get where you can.
Because that's going to be the challenge, and this is what I would say to any business, is do what you can do. One thing I know that happens in our businesses here in Elbert County, and it's true everywhere, so I don't want to think our community, our business community, think they're the only ones that happens to, but you get pulled in so many different directions.
Yeah,
You
right.
really do. And then potentially at the high school, you could get hit up by every sport. So when you allude to the champions level, we put together, and I say this is Dr. Turner has put this together where we have a major sponsorship where it includes all sports. The sports get their cut, but it does keep it to where it's simpler for the businesses and even for the high school, where you get the alignment with each other and the partnership with each other, where we can hopefully get it to where the businesses are not hit up so much. And we do have a limited number of those spots for us to be able to provide for those businesses what they'll be purchasing. We do have a limited number of spots with that, and the reception of that has been tremendous. And Matthews Granite was last 2 days ago I met with him, and Mr. Stonecipher, I couldn't thank him enough. He was very quick to jump on that, and so
awesome.
we've been very receptive to the businesses doing that. But again, it goes, and you are alluding this to everybody. You have the tiered approach, so it's really about the business doing what they can do, or what
that's
they can,
right.
And that's what we want to do, is explain to them what we're doing with it, so that they could see where they best fit on it.
And I want to say, I love it when the kids. So I love it when they come in and say, "Hey," because I've got a neighbor that plays baseball.
Yeah.
So he came in with a sheet, and I'm going to sign it. Yeah. Now, one athlete was I thought they were a little bit rough with me, and that was Madison Webb.
Yeah.
She came in one day. What was it that we did? I don't forgot. What was it?
About what?
I don't know. You came in with a sheet one day, and you were like, "Here, Stan, I need this now."
Well, it's probably
No,
Coach.
I didn't say
It's
that.
probably Coach Keysler on the golf
yes,
team.
Yes,
it's Coach Keysler.
yes, it was.
He's one, and I
just
say
kidding.
that jokingly. Coach Keysler's a dear
By
friend.
the way, Madison is awesome, and I'm just
Actually,
playing
I did
around.
not say we need it now. I said that we'll need this
Need it
eventually.
Yeah.
We'll need this eventually. I'm just going to set it here.
Okay. All right. Did we do what we're supposed to do?
We did.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, and but I was going to tell Coach Jarvis, I enjoy that because I love that the kids are getting interactive.
Yeah.
But it's also nice in the champions thing. If I understood it right, once you do that commitment, I mean you're covered on all sports, and so. But it's awesome to see the students getting out and about and being involved in this process. But it's also neat to see our community being involved in the process. And I believe the school spirit that ties into that is even better.
Yeah.
And folks, if you haven't noticed, and I'm just going to talk about the last 2 days, and these are students that are involved in sports and band. I've worked with 3 students, and they all have an average of like 98 and above.
Yeah.
And of course, Madison Webb, y'all know her. She's here, our intern. And should I mention the other 2, or I won't mention their names right now. But anyways, the 2 students that I worked with yesterday were the same way.
Yeah.
And so it's awesome, and they're in sports and band.
And Stanley, that's my biggest fear, and that's the part I think our community needs to understand. High school athletics is, I would say, on a pivotal place, and even coming from the place that I was at. The expense of high school athletics, from uniforms to the gear that the kids have, everything, that is not something that's part of a budget at the school in regard to tax monies. That is based on ticket sales. That is based on money that is raised in our community. So that is not something that's a tax. That's not a Board of Education line item, and when you're dealing with equipment, and nor should it be. It's really up to the community as far as us deciding what we want to provide to these children and to these athletes. That's our choice. And in my experience, I've learned that every community is different in their perspective and their approach with that. But my greatest fear at Elbert County is this: as you look nationally, as these expensive sport has gotten increasingly more and more, we can't just simply pass that on to the student athlete. I'm coming from an environment where that was what was quickly you would do that, where it would cost this much money to play whatever sport.
Right.
And some of those prices are very high, and it eliminates the kids' opportunity to
be
play.
involved.
Yeah, and it's the kids that you want to recruit out there. Then all of a sudden you put a price tag on it. Then the kids now, as a child, is in a rough spot, knowing they can't afford it. We're not going to allow that to happen at Elbert
And True
County.
Blue helps to make it where everybody can.
Yes.
And, we were in Tennessee for a couple of years, and that's the same way they do it up there. And for band, obviously my kids are in band and music. Drew, I don't even want to tell you the figure, but it was high.
Yeah,
and
And it's
but
true.
we don't have to do that here.
Yeah, it's every extracurricular activity in a lot of schools outside of Elberton. And that's
Yeah.
me. Part of my desire, again, coming back, is I think you can do it in Elbert County because I know the strength of our business community. I know the strength of this community. I know the pride that they have. And I know that they understand the impact that athletics and extracurriculars. Let's get them all in there together. It's ROTC. We have a tremendous ROTC program. And, that's the numbers that I want to look at, is how many are involved in other things at the school. Truth of the matter is we have 301 athletes at Elbert County.
Wow.
Out of that 301, we have 181 boys and 120 females. And that female number is something that we're looking at, that we got to increase as well. And that means in regard to the opportunities. And we talk about increasing and promoting and all, that comes down to financially how we're going to support these kids to play. And this is just the way I was raised here now. If we're going to do it, it's first class. And so, if we've got kids with holes in their uniforms or the old uniforms are old, that's where their financial resources come and what we can provide for those kids.
And Shannon, Coach Jarvis, I want to ask, how would a business, if there is a business in town that's listening right now, and they may be a worldwide corporate business, but they think, hey, we want to be community oriented. How could they call you about the champions level sponsorship or getting to be in True Blue? And who would anybody call for True Blue to get ready? Because folks, even though you think football or next school year or anything is a ways away, right now next year's being planned right now.
Yeah, so next year's been planned, and that's where I'm going out right now. We're looking at the membership drive, corporate sponsors, all that would be, they will start getting information on that in May, April, May, because we're getting prepared to get all that lined up so that by August 1st, obviously signage, everything we want to do to partnership and provide, for these business communities, we've got to have, for right now, honestly, Clay Johnson, there's a president, but they can email me. This is dear to me. I believe this is something in being here, I believe this. So emailing me probably is the best way to do this, and truthfully, I would rather go meet with the companies and just see, because I want to be able to do this. We do have other people on our True Blue board. We have a phenomenal True Blue board, but right now I would like to be at the point on this, and so just email me at shannon.jarvis@elbert.k12.ga.us. And I'm busy during the day. I've got weightlifting, I've got workouts after school and all, but I promise you I've got enough time that I can fit in there where I would love to come speak with any business that's interested in seeing the all the levels that we have. Also, pictures and diagrams of the updates that we're trying to do. We got a weight room project that'll be coming in the next couple of years, but we're already working to put our championship banners in that weight room.
That's gonna be awesome.
As a former student here, that's one thing I don't think is promoted enough. There's a lot of region championships, 8 state champions to be proud of. And so that weight room where our girls lift, our girls are in weightlifting as well. Females are fourth block. And so I'm talking about all the girls state championships. We just had a girls region championship in basketball. Our boys region champ. Those banners need to be put up in there. So we're working on a project right now for the weight room with that. So there's a lot of things going on. And part of me talking to you yesterday and then afforded this opportunity was just getting into our community that we're ready to get everybody on board for this, to be able to provide the best experience possible for any Elbert County Blue Devil.
And I tell you, this has become a big thing for me looking at FCA is going to be making a huge impact this coming year. And I met Shauna, who will be over Elbert Hart FCA. And I remember the gentleman, oh man, my mind's
Chad Posey.
Chad Posey.
Yeah, Chad.
And I'm hoping to have Chad and Shauna here in May to talk about that. But folks, I bring that up to say this: True Blue is such a huge part of sports, and so to get your athletes in there. And another part to me is having a great FCA. And folks, I just see this next year as being a great time for our youth and pouring into our youth. And that's what you're doing when you do True Blue, is pouring into the youth. And that helps everybody out. That helps our community out. It's going to keep kids out of trouble. It's going to keep kids out of the wrong things. And so if you can support True Blue in any way and support FCA and support these student athletes coming up this year, it's a huge part of who we are. And of course, our vehicle has news, weather, and sports. And we like to say we all about the EC. What? Go Blue. And but I invite everybody. I'm putting my personality into it. But I invite all businesses and even folks that want to support True Blue and know that you can be a part of something bigger and bigger for our community. And like Shannon said, a lot of things that we're talking about are not part of your tax dollar. So these things that they're doing in True Blue are not part of the tax situation. So do what you can and give Shannon an email look forward to things coming out and be a part of such a great thing. And Shannon, I know your time is in all that, but I have one question. A lot of people sending questions.
Yes,
I'm going
sir.
to pick one and do it.
Okay.
Mr. Alan Childs says, Coach Jarvis, has next year's football schedule been set yet?
Yes, it has been, Alan. And I'll say this to you, Alan. Alan, I know how much you support Elbert County
He's
athletics.
huge.
I
EC
know. You
supporter.
don't know. I know you're a huge supporter. Next year's schedule is the same. We're on the second year of the contract, so it's just your home and away flip. So we will be traveling to Hart County. That's part of that contract that we had. But that schedule should be on the website. If it's not, I will make sure when I get back it is today. But the schedule has been set for next year. But in the Riverside game, it is scheduled to be played, so there shouldn't be any. We had to make a few changes last year, but it has been set. I'll make sure if it's not on the website, I'll have it on the website so that you can see it. And just know that I speak for a lot of coaches and a lot of athletes. We appreciate your support.
Awesome. Coach Jarvis, anything else? We definitely want people to look into True Blue, and if you are want to be a Champions sponsor, to get with Coach Jarvis or anybody that has any questions, send an email. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, just know that the True Blue Athletic Club is the number one tool, number one entity to be able to change the lives and be able to give kids the experience at Elbert County High School in athletics, to be able to enhance that experience. That's what the role of a booster club is to be able to enhance that experience. So I know our community wants to do that, and there's transparency within the meeting that we have. It's nothing, it's no secrets to it, but I've really enjoyed coming in here and now looking at True Blue take on bigger projects to be able to help the students, in a bigger way, and having a bigger impact. But with that's going to come financial resources moving forward, and the budget is what's going to determine what we can do for these kids. That's what I'm excited about, because I already know what the response will be in our community, and specifically with our business community.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to 2020, 21, 22 now.
Oh, I am
just
too.
Seeing what happens. So. Folks, I tell you, he's got a busy schedule. I mean, he's all over the place, and our many thanks to Coach Shannon Jarvis today for taking time to be in on this Community Spotlight. Our Community Spotlight today powered by Elberton Net. Call Elberton Net at 706-213-FAST for internet, TV, telephone, and more. Coach Jarvis, I appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Stan.
Thank you. All right, folks, and we'll try to get information for you on our website and our Facebook page to get you in touch with Coach Jarvis. And if you're a corporate sponsor, would like to be part of that Champions, we'd like to talk to you about that and get you in the right direction. Stay tuned. We'll be talking to the Elbert County Chamber of Commerce. And speaking, if you have a business, stay tuned for the next spotlight for the next part of this hour, because we're going to be talking about how to help your business from the Elbert County Chamber of Commerce. Leslie Friedman is standing by. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this.